Hey everyone, it's Tom again. Welcome to Psych.Club. Please do click the like button and subscribe and share to your friends. Thanks for those that did it on the previous video. If you do that again and share it to friends on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or Instagram, LinkedIn or any other platforms, and WhatsApp or text messages, write a little message in the comments, say where you're from, and I'll give you a personal thumbs up and also a heart. So thank you guys. Also as well, shout out to those that follow the Charlie Ward show. Please like and subscribe to Charlie Ward's channel as well. If you could do that, that'd be awesome. Today's episode will probably be a little bit briefer than usual, but I wanted to put this out because some things became apparent to me, and I wanted to entitle this one the connection between JFK and Mr. Charlie, or Charles Ward, my friend Charlie, and I think you'll understand why when we go through it. So some things that have come up in the last, well, today actually. Today's date is it's Thursday the 24th of September 2020, and it's an important date. 24th of September can be represented by 24 plus 9, which comes to 33. Remember, all numbers are good numbers. Some were hijacked, but now they're being cleaned up, which is a beautiful thing to see. So things like 33, 66, 31, 22, 23, 31, 32, etc. All these numbers are going to be coming more to the fore, and we're going to understand the true meanings of them. And also on the I've spoken about this before, but those that are new, actually this is a good point to do it. Those that are completely new to my channel and to my messages and videos with Charlie, we're going to be talking about numerology, in particular Trumpology. And the way that works is, if you can add up letters in words, you can understand all the hidden meanings behind the communications from President Trump and from his team, such as Kaylee and others, Ivanka, etc. So, for example, A is the first letter, B is the second letter, C is the third letter, D is the fourth letter. Now, if you add up those to any word that you see, do it for your own name, you'll get a value at the end. For example, the word Trump, T-R-U-M-P, comes to 88. So T is 20, R is 18, U is 21, M is 13, and P is 16. Add all those together, you come to 88. And that's what we're going to be doing. All right, so that's the brief key and introduction to what we're doing. So going back to today's date, so 24th of September is 24 plus 9, which comes to 33. And on the 24-hour clock, if you think of the hour 200 or 2000 hours on the 24-hour clock is represented on the 12-hour clock by 8 o'clock. So 20 and 8 are synonymous, they can be interchanged with each other. And so the year of 2020 is also the year of 88, which is also the value for Trump, okay? And we're going to play with that, and we're going to do that right now. So September the 24th today is 24 plus 9, which is 33. If you add 33 to 2020, or 2020 is 88. If you add 33 to 88, you get 121. Now 121 is a really super powerful number. 1 plus 2 plus 1 comes to 4, which fourth letter is D for Donald, Delta, etc. You've got all that going on. And 121 is the 121 or 1.21 gigawatts in Back to the Future, when the lightning bolt strikes and it changes everything, and they're able to time travel, and they go at 88 miles per hour. So that's all there. The other thing with that is you've got, if you change it from, and the other thing I should say with that is the gigawatt. So they call it the gigawatt. If you look up the word gigo, it's actually a handicap system, like quite an advanced handicap system for making things even mathematically, and a bit like a golf handicap system. President Trump likes to play golf with clubs, one of the suits in the deck, which we'll talk about a little bit later. it basically means someone of a better level, more prosperous level, can play with someone on an even par that's maybe not as well off in that skill level. And so this whole thing with Nassara and Jassara, when they even everything out, there's going to be a way that they do it through the quantum financial system, etc., and all the technology and advanced dimensional understanding and consciousness that they have through this whole thing of Giga, the gigawatt, which is represented by 121. So we might talk about that again in further episodes, I'm sure we will, but I just wanted to make people aware of that. So 121 is actually represented by today. And also, if you think of the word September, sept is 7. So a couple thousand years ago, it used to be the 7th month, not the 9th month. I think it was around Julius Caesar Augustus time, and they changed it. So September is 7, or sept. October is oct, so it's 8. 9, November, nov must come to some kind of measure for 9. And December, dec, is 10, decimal, etc. Decagon, all those things. So if we use the value of 7, we can do 24 plus 7 plus 88. So you've got 24 plus 7, which comes to 31, which incidentally is 31 is the notification. Well, is the value for Bell. So BEL comes to 31. It's also troy an ounce of gold. So 31 grams worth of gold comes to 1 troy ounce of gold. So click and like the notification bell again, and give yourself a troy ounce of gold, metaphorically and maybe physically. So you've got 24 plus 7 comes to 31. 31 plus 88 comes to 119. It's a number we've spoken before in previous episodes about, but this 11.9 is September 11th. It's 11th of September, 11.9. So that number's come up as well. We know that that's all been reversed. Everything is being reversed and changed all around that point. That marker, which is when JFK came back on September 11th, which Charlie and I spoke about on the 10th, and we've done a couple of episodes since then. Okay, so going back to the specifics of JFK and Mr. Charles Ward, these are the numbers. So John is 47. 47 is also silver. Now this one's a great one. I've seen this before, but it came to me again today. Fitzgerald, so F-I-T-Z or Z, J-E-R-A-L-D, comes to the value of 108. 108 is Mr. Ed Root. That's the camouflage. That's the disguise that Mr. Ed Root, that Mr. JFK appeared in on September 11th at the Flight 93 memorial service. And President Trump talked about taking to this guy's above this field. So he was referring to Mr. JFK, Mr. Ed Root, who was in disguise above this field, upon that ground where he and JFK spoke that day. 108 also comes to my dear friend Mr. Jack Edward Kidd. It also comes to Millennium, Trump Millennium. It also comes to Spinal Tap as well, the band. So we'll see, there'll be some things in Trumpology at some point, I'm sure, around that, but we'll see. Kennedy, the word Kennedy comes to 78, which is also atomic platinum. It's also the names Patrick. It's also the names Robert. So think of Robert Kennedy. Think of Robert Patrick, the actor who played the T-1000. T being Trump, T-1000, Trump, 1,000 years, Trump Millennium. President Trump's been talking about 1,000 years again in addresses just this last week. We are going into the millennium, people. That's what's happening. So Kennedy is 78. Okay, if you add up 47, 108, also as well, 78 is October, so the word October comes to 78, which is beautiful. Okay, so if you add 47 plus 108 plus 78, you come to 233, which is 2 times 33, which equals 66, okay? And 66 is an actual beautiful love angel number, okay? Now, if we go over here, the other thing as well with that is Johns. So if you take the word John, which is silver, add S, make it plural, or belonging to Johns, add 19, 19 again comes up, it comes to 66. So Johns equals 66. Now let's have a look at this. My dear friend and fellow broadcaster, Mr. Dr. Charlie Ward, or Charles Ward. Charles, C-H-A-R-L-E-S, comes to 66. That's also the middle name of my dear grandfather, Sidney Charles. And Ward equals 46 as well. So, well, Ward comes to 46. 46 is the age that JFK was back in '63 when the assassination visuals took place, when he went into hiding, etc. Because you know he's come back. And also palladium, the atomic number for palladium, which is another precious metal on the board, is actually value 46. And 46 is also the year that President Trump himself was born. So 66 plus 46. The other thing as well with the name Charles, Charlie. So Charlie comes to 56. Charlie, the number of years that JFK since '63 is 56 years. It will soon be 57 years in November, but it's 56 years, so hence the number 56 keeps coming up. So 66 plus 46 comes to the value of 112, 112. Again, it's a nice interchange between those numbers, 1, 2, 1, etc. But this one is 11, 2, so it's 112. So 11 is the 11th month, which is November. The word 11 comes to 63. The word 11th comes to 91, which is an inverse of 19, etc. So you'll see that a lot on things. POTUS comes to 91. So you can see how this is working out, guys and girls. But going back to here, so November, the 11th month, if you times 11, so you've got the number 112, if you times 11 by 2, you get to 22. 22 is the date of JFK back in '63 with the assassination. So 11, 22, 22nd of 11th, November 22nd, 11, 22 is November 22nd. And that is going to take place in, what, I don't know, a couple months away, almost, a little bit longer. And then the year that JFK passed will be up to 57. Okay, so the number 57 is another one that's important, that's really coming up a lot as well. And President Trump has been talking about vaccine and vaccines, etc. Now, the number 57 represents a few things. It's wood, which is my grandparents, which is a personal one to me. But vaccine, the word vaccine comes to 57, okay? President Trump just yesterday spoke in detail about vaccine and vaccines. Vaccines, when you add an S to it, comes to 76. 76 is Thomas, 76 is Sidney, so my first and middle name is also 76 from Back to the Future, which is Dr. Emmett Brown, Doc Brown, Emmett. That's another character that Charles Ward is playing here in all of this great stuff. So Sidney and Emmett and Thomas, etc. is all interchangeable, hence my relationship with Charlie. But vaccines is 76. Also, the word clubs with an S, as in the suit of clubs in the deck of cards, is 57 as well. The word club, as in Psych.Club, is 38, which is also a reference to gold. So when you add the S, it takes you up to 57. So 38, so gold or golds comes to 57, which is clubs, which is also the word vaccine. Now, President Trump spoke in detail yesterday, really amazingly, right in the first minute, well, just after into the second minute. So on 107, 108 and 109, so 1 minute 7, 108, 1 minute 8 and 109, 109, he spoke about the vaccines. And he said the vaccine, once it's ready, and bearing in mind as well, the value of 107, 107 comes to the word Trumps. So Trump is 88, add 19 comes to Trumps. Add the S comes to to 90 comes to 107. Okay, 108 is the value that we've already spoken about, which is Fitzgerald, which is Millennium, which is Jack Edward Kidd, which is spliffany, which was the made-up word in the Sun newspaper here in England a couple of weeks ago that I saw that helped me decode what 108 meant. Any made-up word you see in the papers, just add up the value and it will give you a hidden meaning, which it did in this case, and spinal tap and other things. So, and then 109 is Zapruder, the Zapruder film. I did an episode a couple of days ago on my channel Psych.Club, and it was thankfully uploaded on Charlie's channel yesterday. And Zapruder 109, that's the value of the word Zapruder, which was the film around JFK's assassination. It's a Q film, and the reason we know that is because the word 17 comes to 109. Okay. And incidentally, my channel, my personal channel, Psych.Club, comes to 109 as well. So you can see how all this is working, people. Okay, but he spoke in detail about the vaccines, and he said, as soon as it's ready, we're going to do it. He said, not a moment later. He didn't say a day later. He said that moment. Now, thinking of what I've said about November 22nd this year, JFK's anniversary, if you could call it that, but we know he's still alive, so God bless you, sir. Sir, S-I-R, actually comes to 46, which is the year he was back in 63. It's also, like I've said, President Trump's age, and also atomic palladium. So, the anniversary of JFK passing on 11th of November 1963 will be 57 years this year on the 22nd of November. So 57 is vaccine, and President Trump said immediately we're going to do this. It's also clubs. Clubs is one of those one of the suits in the deck, and he wants people to take it or to be involved in it. And it's not a bad vaccine like a Bill Gates, but Bully Gates, not him, who's gone already. It's Trump's vaccine to heal and help people. So something amazing is going to happen around this point when Kennedy goes from 56 years ago to 57 years ago. Vaccine is 57. Vaccines is 76, 1776, etc. So you've got all these things happening, and President Trump spoke clearly around the markers of 107, which is Trump's, 108, which is Millennium, which is Fitzgerald, which is Jack Edward Kidd, which is Mr. Ed Root with the disguise of JFK, and 109, which is Zapruder, which is the word 17, and Psych.Club. Okay, so this is all happening, people. It's just amazing. Can't wait for it. Okay, so I was going to film this episode. Actually, I went. Those that watch regularly will know I live near Regent's Park in London. I'm blessed to do so. And Regent's comes to 88, and Park, P-A-R-K, is 46. Again, the age of Kennedy in 63, President Trump's year of birth, and also Palladium. And the Palladium Theatre is just a mile or two down the road. Okay, I was going to film this in St. John's Lodge Garden. Okay, there's the Garden of St. John's Lodge, which is in the inner circle within Regent's Park, and I was there a couple of hours ago, and I was setting up, and I was going to do a little episode in the garden. But it started pouring down with rain, so I've come back here to dry off and film the episode here. But we'll do one out there in the future. But the reason I went there is because of some of these markers. So the word "the" comes to 33. The word "garden" comes to 49. 49 is 7 times 7, so 77. And the word "of" is 21, which is 37, so 777. The Garden of, you add up those three words, it comes to 103, which is the current age of Mr. JFK, Mr. John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Saint comes to 39, so ST comes to 39. John's, as we've said before, comes to 66. And Lodge, comes to 43. So St. John's Lodge comes to, all of those words add up to 148. 148 is, it could be 1 plus 48, which is 49. It can also be 1 times 48, which is 48, and 48 incidentally is my name, Tom, so Tom comes to 48, as does James. Hey James. And also Zim. So Zim is an important thing in this as well. So that comes up to 48. If you add, and also the other thing as well I should mention with this is, I'll put it up on Twitter later, but you go into St John's Lodge Garden, and there's a plaque there, and it talks about the history of it. And back in 1888, so you've got 18 plus 88, you've got 3 eighths, 3 and an 8 is 38, which is gold. You've got all that going on, but it talks about how a marquis, someone regal back then, took the lease for St John's Lodge, that garden, in 1888, and and he was to do with the Isle of Bute, the Marquis of Bute. I think he was the second or third one. I need to check that, but it was the Marquis of Bute, and the word Bute comes to 48. Now, I thankfully have been to the Isle of Bute. Okay, it's amazing how all these things are happening along the timelines, and I've been able to be at places, meet people, and go to places where this all ties in. But the Isle of Bute is up in Scotland on the west coast, and incidentally, the word Scotland comes to 88. President Trump's family on his mother's side, come from Scotland, the Isle of Lewis, and I was up there in Scotland, so I know that area well. And the Isle of Bute I've been to, and there's the town Rothsay, and it's when you go across on the ferry, if you ever get the chance to do it, I'd encourage you to do it. They have submarines and things all around there, but think of those things as you will. But the Isle of Bute is just beautiful. You can take a ferry from Largs and other destinations, and you go across, and it's literally like coming into a Christmas card. I went there in the winter of '94. And I went there again about, I think in 2018, sorry, 2008 I went back again. But it's like going into a picture book, when it's all lit up at night, it's like, literally, I felt like I was walking into a Christmas card, because just the way it was set up with all the lights, and you've got the hills in the background, it's just a beautiful place. So shout out to those on the Isle of Bute. It's beautiful. That's a bit of a corny joke, but anyway. But if you add, so if you add 103, which is the value for the Garden of, and then add 148, which is the value of St John's Lodge, that comes to 251. 251 immediately, 51 is a reference to aliens. It just made me think of that. So we know that alien, the word alien is 41, and we know that the word king is 41. So they're interchangeable with each other. And we've spoken before how JFK, the initials JFK, come to 27. 27 is the mark for Templar Egyptian kingship. And I've done previous episodes where I've talked about JFK being a king. So that you've got all that happening as well. So 2 aliens, 2 kings. You've got JFK, you've got JFK Jr., and there'll be others. But just the whole thing of the technology and how they're able to go into hiding, time travel, come back again, all these things, and all these things will start to be more and more clear to people as we go through this wonderful ascension. Some other ways to look at the words as well. So if you look at just Isle of Bute, that comes to 48, which we've spoken about. Isle of, just Isle of, so 45 plus 21 comes to 66. The Isle of Bute, 45, 21 plus 48 comes to 114, which is 11 times 4, which is 44, which comes to Jacks. Jack is abbreviation for John, but there's a few Jacks involved in this, so love to both of you. And Jacks, so the word Jacks comes to 44. It's one of Trump's special cards, one of the special markers and numbers that he likes to use. Even think of the game Jacks, there's that. But 11 times 44, but you've got Jacks there. And also, I was going to speak about this, but there's also a reference to Melania. I'll do that at the end. But her value can come to Jacks as well, can come to 44. So another reference here, so if you do just Isle and Butte, so 45 plus 48 comes to 93, which is Bushnell. Bushnell comes to the value of 93. I always like to talk about the Bushnell telescope. There B looks like an 8, looks like the 8 ball. There's my cousin Paul involved in this, Paul Bushnell. Around the corner, on the south perimeter of Regent's Park, there's a beautiful Bentley or Rolls, there's always parked there, and their number plate is 8 FK, and it's just a quarter of a mile from where the statue, where the head of a Bosque, am I saying that right? I can't think of the word. What's the word? Yeah, a Bosque of JFK was, but it's just around the corner now in a school, in a building. But it's still got the marker. It says, you know, John F. Kennedy, etc. And that's all there on Regent's Park, which is 88, and Park is 46, etc. And also it's Dear Justin. So Charlie Ward's son, Justin, who's always on the beginning and end of the videos. So shout out to Justin. His value comes to 93 as well. So when you say the words the Isle of Butte, just the Isle of Butte, which is 33, 45, 21 and 48, comes to 147. So 147 is 1 times 47, it's silver. 147 is the break, the silver break, the maximum break in snooker that President Trump performed on the 8th of August when he did that beautiful metaphor for going back to silver and gold. He completed the 147 break, and then he potted the 3 8 balls, which 3, 8, 38 comes to gold. And I've done an episode feels like many moons ago now, but not too long ago with Charlie on that, so I'd recommend people to watch that. I think that's on the first one we did actually. And I'm wearing my Baywatch t-shirt, so you'll see that's the first one. So just a marker, so if you want to look back. Talking of markers, so camouflage, I decided to put this one on. It comes to 84, camouflage. Thought it'd be a bit of fun to put on. Got the green t-shirt here with Berlin, etc. We'll speak about in a minute, but camouflage is 84. It's the flip, it's the reverse of Tom 48. So just thought that'd be fun, bit of comms. Okay, so you've got 147. So 1 times 47 is silver, and if you do 1 plus 47, it comes to 48 again. Okay, so it's Tom, it's James, it's Zim. It's all of those things, and plus other things. The other thing about silver, so 47, it's actually time. So the word time is actually silver. Atomic silver, 47 is time. So time is precious and silver is precious. Okay, so some other things. Some things on the comms, the t-shirt today. Okay, so here you got 1163. So 1163, 11 plus 63 comes to 74. 74 is the value for Trump. It's also the value for Jesus and Gary Lineker I mentioned, and he's actually tweeted today, just this afternoon, that Zlatan Ibrahimovic has unfortunately tested positive for corona. But he did a joke about it and said the sympathies are with the virus because it's tested positive, because Zlatan's tested positive. So there's a whole joke with that. But anyway, people in the football world will understand that. But the bottom line is it's not the best that Zlatan's tested positive. But anyway, so 11 plus 6 plus 3 comes to 19. So you've got 19 here again. You've got 19 here. Also, further down, so you've got Berlin, which I'm going to speak about, which comes to 60. But right down here, you've got DLX, if you can see that, DLX. D is 4, L is 16, plus 24. That all comes to 40. So you've got 40, which is 2 sets of 20, which is 8, 8. So I've got these great markers on these t-shirts that I've had. So that's there. And some other things that I wanted to, that's made me think about. So Berlin, I said, yeah, Berlin, B-E-R-L-I-N, comes to 60. 60 is the age that JFK Jr. will be on November the 25th of this year, okay? He currently is age 59, and 59 is the word Joker, so you've got the Joker card, the Trump card, I've spoken before about how 59 comes into sports events and other things, and the whole of this. But JFK is actually age 59, but he will be 60. Gareth Bale, the footballer, is his name 59. Well, his name Gareth comes up to 59 also, and he's produced some miracles in football matches before. 60. So this is another one here. So 60. So Berlin, I'm a Berliner. That whole famous speech by JFK. But the word Berlin comes to 60, and also the word order comes to 60. Okay, and that got me thinking of Order 66 in Attack of the Clones, the Star Wars film. So 60 plus 66 comes to 126. 126 is another reference for silver and gold, which is atomic silver, 47, plus atomic gold, which is 79. The word Gareth Bale in total comes up to 79. So you've got 59 Gareth, and then Bale is 20. That comes to 79. So Gareth Bale is gold. So 60 plus 66 equals 126, which is also Melvin Bragg. I spoke about him a few weeks ago, the broadcaster here in the UK. I met him, bumped into him in Regent's Park, in the Magic Park, 88 Regent's Park. And it comes to 126, which is that reference to silver and gold. Okay. Also as well, so this t-shirt is actually from Primani, so from Primark, so it's just a cheap t-shirt, it's fine. But it's 43, so the word Pri, comes to 43, and 43, the name Mark comes to 43 as well, which is an important thing. So Mark is an important name as well. So 43 plus 43 comes to 86. 86 is the value for memorial. Think of Flight 93 memorial back on the September 11th, and also the Mount Rushmore Memorial, etc. Mount Rushmore Monument, National Monument, but one of the names it goes by is Memorial, so it is a memorial, parks, etc. Okay, talking of Attack of the Clones, one of the values I just quickly looked at was Star Wars, one of my favourite franchises, and Empire Strikes Back came back after COVID, after lockdown, after cinemas being locked down. They wanted us to watch that. The big reveal of the father. I've said it before, President Trump is Father Trump, and people are going to understand that. So, Star Wars, Star comes to 58, which is August 29th, which is two sets of 29. It's also Melania Trump's name. Melania, it's Ivanka Trump's name. Ivanka comes to 58, and I've met Ivanka. Wars comes to 61. So 61 is Don Jr. It's also my sister Tanya. It's also Casino, so Trump's Casino. 58 plus 61 comes to 119. Again, that magic number. The thing that was hijacked back 19 years ago, but now it's been reversed and changed. The whole thing of reversal and inversion. Christopher Nolan's film Tenet talks all about that. Melania, I mentioned her before, but Melania's name is 55, so she's a clear and loud signal, a loud and clear signal. But when you add Melania 55 plus Trump, which is 88, and her Twitter handle is all in caps letters, Melania Trump, so they want people to know that, comes to 143, and 143 is 1 times 43, which is an important number for all of this. The words or the phrase Mount Rushmore Monument, Mount Rushmore Memorial comes to, Mount Rushmore Monument, I beg your pardon, Mount Rushmore Monument comes to 343, or is it Mount Rushmore Memorial 343? I did it in the other episode. Anyway, and President Trump has talked about doubles and triples. So the doubles and triples of numbers with meanings behind it. I'm sure we're going to quadruples as well. But so 43 is a really important number. And her value comes up to 1 times 43. But also it comes up to 1 plus 43, which is 44, which is jacks again. So JFK, President Trump likes to play that one, 2 Ds, D and a D. 2 Ds is 4, 4. So all of those things are happening. And in closing, something I saw in the papers last night, I tried to see it, the Star newspaper tells a lot of truth, hence Star is 58. But here in England we've got the Star newspaper, but they'd all sold out in places. But then I managed to see just outside a store, it was all bound up, but I could see the headline. So it was kind of I might better put onto it, it's not a very clear picture, but the strapping was there with the kind of note of returns, etc. But I was able to flip it up and see the headline on the Star newspaper. And it said something really peculiar, but it just said, this is what it said. It said, like E-R. It said, that it. Didn't say, that's it. It said, that's it, question mark. So that's a clear signal that that's a code. And what it breaks down to is, or adds up to, is ER is 23, which is I am. And then the next word, or two words, is that. That is 49, which is 49 is 7 times 7, we spoke about before. And then it is 29. So again, for August 29th, switching everything on, Terminator 2, etc. But when you add 49 plus 29, guess what it comes to? It comes to 78, which is Kennedy. And so it says, I am Kennedy. So this headline, that's it, 23 plus 49 plus 29. 49 plus 29 is 78, which is Kennedy. And then 23 is I am. So I am Kennedy. That it adds up to the value of I am Kennedy. They're telling us again, I am Kennedy. It's here. Every day we're seeing these markers. And they're getting the world prepared, because he's already done soft disclosure, but we're going to see more and more of this as we go into October and into November, and possibly into December. Incidentally, 23 plus 78 comes to 101. So when you think of room 101, you're thinking also of room I am Kennedy. And there's definitely room for you, sir. So thank you. God bless everyone. Shout out to my dear friend Charlie Ward, Charles Ward in this instance, and to Sir JFK, JFK Jr., Bobby, all the family, and of course to President Trump. Thank you for everything, sir. Thank you for the messages, the acknowledgements. Thank you for everything you're doing, and thank you to the rest of your family and team, and to Q and to everybody else. Thank you. God bless everyone. Like and subscribe, share, say hi, and I'll speak to you soon. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.